Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so as I've mentioned, Monica Becerra and Selena Rico, or Rico Becerra, whatever their name is, these are my family members, my first cousins, my first cousin and my niece. And just by me mentioning these names, these people have a narrative upon me, okay? Because they don't live off their own will or merit. They live off of our existence or my existence. So without me, they cannot live. So they think they have to put me in prison because they think that I'm a risk. They think that because I'm risking my life, that they want to be overprotective of me, as if they were my parents. Two females acting as my parents. Mother and daughter acting as my parents. That's pathetic. Same goes for a mother or for a father and daughter relationship. You see? How many manipulations could be had if a father and daughter choose to misuse their body? So, furthermore, the narrative, ladies and gentlemen, that they are placing upon me, that they could place upon me, that I have to counter no matter what. In 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what you would call active interference or whatever you call it, like on my thought processes. And this goes on even if I'm inside the house. So let's go inside the house. Try to break their barrier. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there are countless narratives that I have to counter, but the mechanism in which they use is let's see, ladies and gentlemen. I lost my train of thought, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there's no more words. This is a full-on invasion by them. So everything that I say is just it's basically pointless, ladies and gentlemen. But that's the thing. When I kick them out of my life and when I say I don't want them in my life, they want to make that they want to take everything from me. They want to say, okay, you don't want me in your life? Well, I'm going to take everything from you. And I think that's what happened to my godfather's father, Arturo Hernandez. Not only do I think, but that is a high probability that that is exactly what happened. So it's this psychology, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only psychology that I don't trust. That and Jaylen Brown, my opposition from Monterey Trail High School, in which, because they are females, he can sleep with them whenever he wants. So you could say that they almost birthed, or they're right alongside that Will Smith and Jada Smith and her son psychology, okay? So Will Smith's son had to have some type of jealousy for whatever happened to his mother, and whatever kid did that to his mother. So they had to justify that. They had to justify that using the English language. And that, ladies and gentlemen, spread like a virus to all high schools. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not just pertaining to this time period. This goes back since the first incorporated city that ever existed. It's the same dichotomy. Or same psychological issues going on, okay? So we've already suffered Unit 731. We've already suffered World War I, II, Civil War, all these wars and stuff, okay? So this is the pinnacle, ladies and gentlemen. This is the leading edge of human thought. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for everything, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to warm myself up a meal because, or actually, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm going to warm myself up a meal because I don't want to leave this house unattended. I've been forced, ladies and gentlemen, to not pay attention to this house, you know, as much as I should. So what I mean by that is I want to leave this house unattended so I can go to my mom's and eat some food. But I don't do that because we have food here, and I pray that my parents are protected, you know? And I asked my neighbor, Kenny, my parents' neighbor, to take care of my parents. And I trust him. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Hope you guys have a good day. And consider not only my YouTube channel, but also the YouTube channels that I have subscribed to. Thank you for listening.